Hello, welcome to On Edge in the Middle. My name is Robert Paul, and I'm here to talk to you about, well, life on edge and in the middle. What does that mean? Well, most of my life I've lived on the edge of life. I've enjoyed a good life, but at the same time, there have been times where I have literally been homeless. Not by intent, not by choice, just by circumstance. And unfortunately, it's uh, taken a lot of time and struggles to get back on my feet. And of course, there have been times when I have been very successful and done very well and walked away from a job after 10 months of union negotiations and, with a year's pay in pocket. Said, look, I'm going to take a few months off and enjoy life for a while. So at the same time, then circumstances have changed very quickly, and I've seen that go away because, well, life happens. But at the same time, I've also been in the middle politically and literally. I'm here in the middle of the U.S., in the Midwest, in the St. Louis metropolitan area. And um, it's growing up in the St. Louis area. Well, St. Louis has a tendency to be very blue. In red Missouri, it used to be purple Missouri, but no, it's been very red for a long time. And yes, St. Louis is very blue, and unfortunately, both of the parties have their problems, and again, we're caught in the middle between both of the parties. Really, neither one of them represent us anymore. Uh, it seems like they both just are representing those who pay them the most. They both parties sold us out a long time ago. You can flip a coin, call it heads or tails, red or blue, Democrat or Republican, conservative, liberal, call it what you want, flip it, it's always going to come up money. And that's the problem. Our government was sold out a long time ago, and it was sold out by both parties. So it's a shame that unfortunately, anytime those of us in the middle try to have any kind of conversation with anybody else, uh, the minute we are not 100% in agreement with their far view one way or the other, the minute we talk compromise, then that's the second that the other party looks at us and says, well, you're one of them. Well, no, no, I'm actually with you, but when you set yourself apart like that and say you're one of them and you won't stop and listen and talk and have a conversation, when things get shut down before they even get started, when assumptions get made about why, what motivates me, and why I feel the way I do, or what I may or may not have done. As a centrist, I've had a lot of people that will sit there and just blow their stack at me about having not voted for Hillary, and it's my fault that Donald Trump was elected the first time. And I just laugh because, well, I voted for her. I voted for Kamala Harris, and it wasn't exactly, hard to do. But at the same time, it's hard to listen to somebody who I actually agree with on many points. It's hard to hear them condemn me for something that I'm not 100% agreeable with on another point. So, in any case, we're caught in the middle between this left right bullshit that's really just the extreme here, the extreme there. The majority of us are caught in the middle. The media doesn't want to talk to us and couldn't give a shit about us because, well, we just don't generate the hype. And it's actually kind of stupid that the media doesn't recognize, They go after hype because they want what generates clicks, right? Well, if they do something that triggers the left, they're going to generate so many clicks, and it's going to be a whole lot of hate from the right. If they do something that triggers the right, they're going to generate, or triggers the left, they're going to get a whole lot of clicks that generates from the left. Now, if they were to focus on us in the center, they'd actually get a whole lot more clicks because they'd get the hate from the left and get the hate from the right because we talk compromise. Those of us in the middle would just rather see the government be run. We know it's not perfect. We'd love to see fraud and waste eliminated. At the same time, we'd like to see social programs expanded. We want our government money to be used, but we want it to be used on people, not businesses. We're tired of seeing businesses take every advantage. Businesses own our government at this point. That's the problem. It was our damn elected officials on both sides who sold us out to that freaking coin a long time ago. Honestly, it started with, well, Nixon decimating a generation intentionally. There are audio recordings. His administration and he all agreed that they could not win that war, but they sent that generation to war because they knew they were getting rid of the young people who at the time were working to change the world and were actually having a positive effect. Look at the civil rights movement. Look at the thousands of people that were taken away from that and sent away to be murdered, to be killed overseas, to be thrown into gunfire and cannon fire, down into holes in the ground. I had a cousin that was a tunnel rat, and well, he might have left Vietnam, but it never left him. In any case, that was the start of it. A generation decimated. Then Gen X, my generation, we came along and basically were told to just eat shit for an entire generation. We watched what had been a safety net, the other side of the social agreement that had been made many years earlier, decades earlier, between business, government, and people. And that agreement was that we all benefit from our democracy and from this capitalism that we enjoy, that everyone can benefit from the fruits of their labor. That was the ideal of the American dream, was that, we could work a job, have some money to take care of ourselves, maybe even a little bit left over, and it's never really about greed. Unfortunately, our world has turned into a world that chases greed, and we were taught to chase greed. But in the 70s, we watched pensions go away. We watched them get replaced with 401ks in the 80s, which my grandfather and I just used to laugh our asses when those first came out. He's the one that taught me everything I know about economics. The man had me reading prospectuses at the age of 10. So, but we were laughing about 401ks in the 80s because they were just a way to separate people from any wealth they might accrue. And on a regular basis, the plan has worked quite well. How many times have we seen people's 401ks cut in half in the last 40 years? Anyway, so in the 80s, we watched the Fairness Doctrine get dispensed with, which then allowed Fox News and other entertainment companies to enter the news foray, and we watched news turn into propaganda. Um, Journalism died with Walter Cronkite, let's be honest. Dan Rather, Walter Cronkite, when those people were gone, journalism pretty much had died. So we were left with media, this shit. I don't even know what to call it other than just shit. But in any case, we've had 40 years of this shit. And over that course of 40 years, a lot of things have changed. We've deregulated a lot. We've eliminated regulations that had been implemented right after the Great Depression. And they were implemented to protect us people from banks and brokerages and manipulation in the markets. And of course, those regulations did a really great job for decades in protecting us, but they were repealed because, well, people didn't like those restrictions because they were uncomfortable. And, well, the reasoning for releasing those restrictions and cutting those restrictions and eliminating them was, well, nobody's done it in so many years. Excuse me. The reason nobody's done it in so many freaking years is because those regulations existed. You don't eliminate them because they were effective. You keep them because they were effective. What the hell? In any case, we eliminated those. We watched shit go sideways in '08. I still laugh to this day because, and just recently, Alan Greenspan, who passed away, it used to kill me that to this day this man would say nobody could have seen coming the crash of '08. That's fucking hilarious because in the mid 90s, I was in the mortgage brokerage business at the birth of fucking subprime. I had conversations with bankers who told me exactly what they were doing. They knew what they were doing. They were building it up. The intent was to wreck the economy. They knew damn well they were selling shit bombs to pensions across the U.S. And they knew one day, eventually, all those shit bombs would start going off. And they knew it would tank the economy. But the thing is in the process of the economy going south, they'd make a freaking killing because they know just how to do the market and short things and shit like that. So when everybody else is losing, they're still winning. They're winning in the buildup. They're winning while everybody else is losing. Then once everybody else is lost and shit's crashed, then they're buying at rock bottom prices and they're winning in the buildup again. And then once everything's built up, they own everything again. I mean, it's fucking ridiculous. But this is what we get when we reach 2010 and the corporate coup is complete with Citizens United. And although I always expected it to be either the executive or legislative branches or both together that laid our country low, I never expected it to be the Supreme Court. But yes, our judicial branch joined the executive and legislative branches in destroying our country, selling us out. We were sold out to the highest bidder. Our country is owned. And I don't give a shit whether you say it's Rothschild, Soros's, whoever. Trump's, Rodham Clinton's, they're all the fucking same to me. All part of the same freaking coin. So, we need to do something about this. We need to take our country back. We're tired of being squeezed out the middle. We're tired of living life on the edge. Squeezed to the edge, squeezed out the middle, squeezed to the edge of life, squeezed out the middle of politics. Well, damn it, there's more of us than them. So let's take this shit back and fuck the extremists. I mean, they can either work with us or work with us. It's not like we're gonna suddenly become extremists ourselves. We're not gonna change our minds and jump over to the extreme left or the extreme right. We're gonna continue believing that things just need to run. So let's get back to business. Anyway, again, I'm Robert Paul. It's been a pleasure speaking with you, and we'll talk about more in the future, a whole lot more. Politics, life, hell, we'll even talk sex. I'm telling you, I can't wait to go off on the stupid commercials. Holy crap, fellas, are you tired of hearing the fucking stupid commercials? I mean, for God's sake, why do people even take that junk? I just don't understand. Anyhow, until next time, it's been a pleasure.